Welcome to this week's edition of Valpo Football Preview, brought to you by the South Shore Convention and Visitors Authority, along with head coach Dave Cicchini. This is Todd Eichow, and obviously all smiles this week and a lot to be happy about. You got your first PFL victory, and really, overall, an impressive performance against a very good team, winning 17-3 against Butler.
Yeah, it was a big turnaround from a year ago. Our team came out, played 4 quarters of great football, particularly on the defensive side. Really, our best performance by far on the season. We ran to the football, we pursued, we executed our schemes. And on the offensive side of the ball, while it wasn't a huge output from a point standpoint, we really fulfilled our game plan and our goal, which was to keep Butler's offense on the sideline. You know, we held the ball for a majority of the game. We did a great job of having long, extended drives, and that was able to keep our defense well rested, which helped them.
In many games, time of possession is the most meaningless stat. This was a game where it was important, right?
Right, absolutely. And I think you can look at the one. In my point, the key drive in the second half was after Butler had their longest drive of the day. They went down the field, 14 plays, got it deep into our and turned it over. Right. On downs, and our defense came off. You know, they've been out on the field for a long time. The offense takes the field and returns the favor. Goes on its longest drive of the game, which again only resulted in a field goal. But really, what that did was, by taking 7 minutes off the clock at the beginning of the fourth quarter, that when our defense took the field after that long drive, they were well rested, and so much time had been taken off. We were up by 14 points with only 5 minutes to go in the game, that it really kind of forced Butler to almost go into a 2-minute mode a little bit earlier than they planned.
The game plan, as you mentioned, keep the offense on the field, keep picking up first downs, and you needed a real solid game from Ben Layman, completing short passes, just pick up 5 yards on first down, a lot of things underneath. And after the struggles he had the previous week, it had to be really good to see the way he came out in that first half, just completing a lot of intermediate passes just to move the chains. It was a real smart game, I thought, for the quarterback.
It was, and he had a couple of really nice carries. Did a great job with, he had 2 rushes of over 20 yards, so he did a great job helping us out in the run game. Outstanding job in terms of how he commanded the offense, getting us in and out of the huddle and running that clock down at times when he knew he was supposed to, and getting us into the right play calls and the right protections, and he played a smart football game.
All right, let's look ahead now. You got to keep building, and a couple of the narrow losses maybe helped build to the victory, and now you got to take it up another notch because you're playing one of the best teams in the league in San Diego on the road, and it's a huge game for them. It could be a game that decides whether they go to the NCAA tournament.
Right, absolutely. It looks like the PFL championship's going to come down to this weekend's games, and San Diego's right there in the hunt, so it's a must-win game for them. They're a very, very talented team. Our guys have a little bit more spring in their step coming out of a victory and against Butler. So hopefully with a great week of practice here, we can put together another good game plan and go out there and give them a battle. In
past years, they've been able to hurt the Crusaders by throwing the ball over the field, spreading it with the great athletes at the receiver spot. How does this year's San Diego team compare to that?
Well, really no different. You look at them, whether it's offense or defense, they have no weak spots. They're so athletic. They can hurt you on the ground. They've got a quarterback who has a cannon of an arm, but he's also mobile. So it's really tough on both sides of the ball to put together a game plan saying, hey, here's their weak spot. Here's where we're going to hit them, and here's where we're going to concentrate, because they're without a doubt the most talented PFL team that will play this season.
And same type of idea. Keep the defense, keep their defense on the field by picking up first downs. A lot of similar ideas coming into this game as you had this past Saturday.
Right, absolutely. And then the other thing that we'd love to get is win that turnover battle, and that's something that we have not done a lot this year. We've had some games where we've done a good job of holding on to it, like we did on Saturday, but we just haven't had many games where we've been able to go out and get multiple turnovers on the defensive side of the ball. So that's going to be huge this week. There's no question that we're going to need some help. We're going to need some short fields on offense to not have to drive at 75 yards to get points on the board, but just be able to drive at 30 yards, which will help us a lot.
A great test for a team which is, I think, playing with a little more confidence right now. You got to feel good about where your team is heading towards the end of the season.
Absolutely.
Good luck on Saturday.
Thanks.
For head coach Dave Cicchini, this is Todd Eichow. Thanks for joining us this week on Valpo Football Preview, brought to you by the South Shore Convention Visitors Authority.